Hello, everyone. Welcome to my bold and the beautiful gossip channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful October 29 recap. Steffy suspects trust controlling Carter gets coupled with Brooke. The strong and the wonderful spoilers recap for Monday, October 28, uncovers that Brooke Logan reeled at seeing expectation Logan wasting time with the CEO. However, Trust demanded she wasn't simply playing around with Carter Walton. As they made sense of, Carter set his shirt back on while Trust closed back up too. In spite of the fact that Brooke was concerned this was some kind of excursion or bounce back, Trust and Carter demanded they thought often about one another and had a common fascination. Be that as it may, Carter and Trust were giving now is the ideal time to see where things went between them. That is the reason Trust inquired as to whether Brooke could, if it's not too much trouble, guarantee she wouldn't agree that anything. Trust was resolved that Steffy Forrester and the remainder of the Forresters couldn't be familiar with this, particularly not Edge Forrester. Brooke recognized that she wasn't there to bust anyone since they were consenting grown-ups, yet she had a few worries. After Brooke got some information about Katie, Logan Carter guaranteed her that they were simply companions, and perhaps that is all they at any point truly were. Carter additionally called attention to that he wasn't Trust's chief, and that he valued what she carried to the organization alongside his life. Brooke needed no wrecked hearts or put in a bad mood, however she appeared to keep her mouth shut. In the president's office, Eric Forrester clarified that he would have rather not taken a chance with liquidation with all Carter's development plans. The Forrester heritage meant quite a bit to face that challenge in Eric's eyes. Steffy was reluctant about surrendering a lot of control on the off chance that they welcomed financial backers, so she had worries too. Despite the fact that Edge appeared to see the value in Carter's vision, he likewise had a few concerns and didn't get why Carter's was bringing this proposition now. Steffy eventually contemplated whether Trust was getting in Carter's mind some way or another. Steffy demanded she have little to no faith in Trust in all cases. She said she was beginning to think Trust was controlling Carter. It wasn't so much that quite a while in the past that Carter concurred with Steffy about expectation for the future. However, presently he needed to say that Anne was pushing this development. Edge recommended business was business, so Carter's perspective wouldn't make any difference in the event that Trust's line couldn't get the numbers up. Eric likewise pronounced that this was their organization, so they realized what was best for Forrester manifestations. Next on Monday's B&B episode, Steffy strolled in the plant office, where she tracked down Brooke with Carter and Trust. That promptly raised Steffy's doubts, so she contemplated whether there was an explanation. Then three were undeniably clustered up this way. Carter said it was about work, so Steffy pushed for refreshes on what was happening. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Brooke, Trust, and Carter will confront all the more difficult situations, so stay with us for expectations on any awful news that is just on the horizon. Consul's secret. Trust and Carter scramble and Forrester's discussion. The bold and the beautiful spoilers update for October 29 uncovers that there will be more discussions among the Forresters with respect to Carter Walton's pitch. In spite of the fact that Carter made a few extraordinary focuses and astounding expectations about the organization's future, he's asking a ton from Steffy Forrester, Edge Forrester, and Eric Forrester. Forrester manifestations could turn into a global extravagance combination like no other in the event that Carter's arrangement works out positively. Notwithstanding, it'll require a pile of credits and ventures, so it could sink Forrester quick in the event that the arrangement bombs, all things being equal. Eric, Edge, and Steffy will think about what's best for the privately run companies, so they'll examine the upsides and downsides of making this significant extravagance umbrella like Carter needs. Obviously, Carter needs something different that has landed him stuck over in the plant office. Trust Logan concluded she was prepared to take a sizzling jump with Carter, so they got stripping going dressed for a work area cavort. Carter and Trust ought to be aware at this point that you ought to constantly lock the entryway before you begin stripping down. Trust and Carter missed that step, so presently Brooke Logan is expanding at the stunning scene before her. Carter and Trust will scramble to make sense of on Monday's B&B episode, so they might concede anything that they share is still new and not precisely made certain about yet. Brooke will presumably test Carter about his help for expectation for the future and keep thinking about whether this was the main justification behind it. Was it every one of the work to get desire to attach? Carter might reject that while Trust shields him since there are certifiable sparkles between them. Trust and Carter could be preparing for a genuine relationship, however that news could stress Brooke as well. Brooke might convey an admonition and contend that it'll be tragic assuming Steffy gets refreshes on Trust and Carter's more than accommodating defining moment. Despite the fact that Brooke might vow to stay quiet about this sentiment, she might exhort against more office frolics and push Trust as well as Carter to be more cautious. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Brooke will have one more motivation to worry about Trust and her wild way of behaving, so remain tuned. Of course, Carter wants something else that's landed him in quite a predicament over in the design office. Hope Logan decided she was ready to take a sizzling leap with Carter, so they started peeling off clothing for a desk romp. Carter and Hope should know by now that you should always lock the door before you start stripping down. Hope and Carter missed that step, so now Brooke Logan is gaping at the shocking scene in front of her. Carter and Hope will scramble to explain on Monday's B&B episode, so they may admit whatever they share is still new and not exactly nailed down yet. Brooke will probably quiz Carter about his support for Hope for the future and wonder if this was the only reason for it. Was it all an effort to get Hope to hook up? Carter may deny that while Hope defends him since there are genuine sparks between them. Hope and Carter could be gearing up for a real relationship, but that news could worry Brooke too. Brooke may deliver a warning and argue that it'll be disastrous if Steffy gets updates on Hope and Carter's more than friendly turning point. Although Brooke may promise to keep this romance under wraps, she may advise against more office romps and push Hope as well as Carter to be more careful. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Brooke will have another reason to fret over Hope and her wild behavior, so stay tuned. Carter and Trust ought to be aware at this point that you ought to constantly lock the entryway before you begin stripping down. Trust and Carter missed that step, so presently Brooke Logan is expanding at the stunning scene before her. Carter and Trust will scramble to make sense of on Monday's B&B episode, so they might concede anything that they share is still new and not precisely made certain about yet. Brooke will presumably test Carter about his help for expectation for the future and keep thinking about whether this was the main justification behind it. Was it every one of the work to get desire to attach? Carter might reject that while Trust shields him since there are certifiable sparkles between them. Trust and Carter could be preparing for a genuine relationship, however that news could stress Brooke as well. Brooke might convey an admonition and contend that it'll be tragic assuming Steffy gets refreshes on Trust and Carter's more than accommodating defining moment. Despite the fact that Brooke might vow to stay quiet about this sentiment, she might exhort against more office frolics and push Trust as well as Carter to be more cautious. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Brooke will have one more motivation to worry about Trust and her wild way of behaving, so remain tuned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.